So Salli, what's up? How you doing?
That was a lot of different energy than 5 seconds ago.
Oh no, you don't wait. You don't like use it. You wait. You look. You hit the button. Let's go.
Everything is fantastic.
Okay, so okay.
Everything's fantastic.
All right, so I guess it was 2.5 years ago. I recall you were complaining about how you wanted to be busier, and me and Dondre would look at you like, really? And then
5 years ago.
no, that was about. I'm
Years
trying
ago.
to remember. It was before COVID, and you were just sitting here. I'm thinking, I want to do more. I want to do more. And then all of a sudden, it's NASCAR, and I'm sitting there going like,
Yeah, there's no stopping right now.
yeah. See, you asked for it because you were trying to.
That's all right, because I wanted it.
Yeah.
I got it.
You got it.
And I'm okay with it right now. No, it's funny. Dondre teases me because when I first started directing, I kind of, when you find that thing that you're going, I think this is it. This is the thing I'm really good at. This is the thing I'm passionate about. And I just immediately was like, I don't know why I'm not booked up the whole year. Immediately.
Yeah, you said that.
I just because I
You
felt
were booked. It wasn't like it was one thing you were doing. You were booked.
I had a great desire and need to move fast. It's kind of like all of a sudden you start a new career I'm not 20 no more. And I felt like I said, I'm ready. This is it. I have to catch up. And I, in general, am a workaholic. I'm not good. I've been off of work now for a few weeks, and I've cleaned out every drawer. I'm not kidding. I can't be idle. It just.
So basically what you've done is you've driven the kids and the hubby crazy.
No, I'm doing it. They're doing their thing. It gives me peace to clean out this drawer.
So you don't know how okay, but when do you just sit, chill, relax, can you do that?
I can do it for a day. And maybe if I was on vacation, I could do it. But a day. I can do a day or two, but doing nothing. Listen, I got 2 kids. We got 3 dogs. If you don't do anything for 2 days, any woman would tell you, there's going to be laundry. There's going to be things going on. I have meetings. I can't do it.
No, see, I look, I work.
I can't stand clutter.
Okay, that don't even think. That don't think.
And I'm that, I don't know, I've always been that person that I can't just, like, I think my golf game has suffered now because I'm like, if I'm on the golf course on a Monday or on a Tuesday for 5 hours, I'm there all day, I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's something I could have been doing right now.
It's like, you're playing golf.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, see, I can't now. Oh, hell no. I'm a play. I'm a firm believer.
Okay.
It's going to be there.
I know.
And there has to be an escape. There has to be a moment where, like, for me, I'll sit here and I'll like, yo, you don't call me. I'm not answering the phone. I'm not texting because I believe in the space and the time to think. I need to be able to think, to be creative by myself, to figure out other things, how to make more money, how to build more different things. And if I don't have my think time, which other people might call that work as well, and that might be playing golf, it might be getting away.
But mine might be, but my peace time is, so if I'm gone I've been gone so much. So my peace is to be home and to take care of the family. That gives me peace.
And they'd be like, you ain't been here. We got it. Don't sit down.
Oh, they love when mama's home. But honestly, I feel great peace if when they come home, the house is in order. If I've made dinner for them, if I've made sure all your clothes are set up for school. These are things I can't do when I'm not home.
All right.
So it just, because I don't have to think to make dinner. I don't have to think to organize their room. That's what I do all day, all the time. People are asking me questions. You know,
I,
I have a 12-year-old son. I just can't. There's drawers. I can't know what's going on. I just want things neat. But it gives me peace.
I would drive you
And
straight
does that
up
make
crazy.
sense though?
I would drive you. I've got.
I seen your kitchen when you're cooking.
Hey, look, I'm like,
I would organize your seasonings. It would be
nah,
great.
see right there. See, that's just probably all your stuff lined up. It probably looks like the Texas A&M marching band, our military band. Like lines all, yeah. You OCD. Yeah.
But I can only do that when I have some time off. But it makes me. But I'm really being serious. My time off is to be with the family, and that gives me peace, and I can regroup that way.
Okay, so what you gonna do when the kids older? Like we won't need you. We got it. That's probably gonna drive you crazy when.
Yeah, but maybe by then I'll be retiring a little bit. I'll be able to relax.
Y'all, you heard? She literally just said, "Maybe I'll be
okay, I won't be retiring.
How old are your kids?
17 and 12. So I have a few years.
She ain't gonna be retired in 6 years. I don't know why she. Stop it. You know doggone well when that 12-year-old turn 18. They're gonna be like,
then
hey,
I'll really drive Dondre crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Dondre gonna be like, yo, I'm directing so I can lead the house.
But I'm hoping that all this work, then by then we can travel. Okay. I can travel. I can have fun. I'll be able to relax then. Right now, for me, it's as if I went back to school and I've decided to become an attorney. And I'm like, hey kids, these next few years, mama's got to be hustling because I've started a new life, and then I can chill.
Yeah,
And play more golf with you. And play more golf with you.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, right. Then your game would just be. You ain't got to go back to beginners class because your game would just be gone.
I still got it. I still got my game. It's in muscle memory. I'm not.
That's true. It is.
I still got it a little bit.
It is. Now, because I swear, I think I'm trying to figure out who's busier, you or Regina King.
Well, it might be Regina. Regina's acting too. But
okay. That's true. That's true.
But I got to tell you, and I think she would agree, directing is much more stressful and tiring and all-encompassing. You know, when you're acting on the show, when you're not shooting, you can go lay down in your trailer and go do other things. If it's not your scene, you're at home. When you're directing, it's every single minute. At night, you're going over your stuff for the next day. It's a completely different world than acting. But I'll give it to Regina. She deserves it.
Don't you think it's time to get wealthy? I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and my new show on the Black Star Network focuses on the things your financial advisor or bank isn't telling you. So watch Get Wealthy on the Black Star Network.
Now, you started acting when?
Well, I mean, I think my first play, I was 14 or something in Chicago. But, you know, I moved to LA when I was 24. You know, saved up money, was working in a restaurant to move to LA, and it worked out. Didn't have to get a job. You know, I'm like you can tell already. I was even organized then.
Yeah, I'm quite sure.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to LA, flew there. Most people don't do it this way. Found an agent first before I moved. Had been working for a year, saving up money, bought a car, drove up, and by the end of that year, I got posse. And
that's not normal.
That's well, you know, when I think back, I look back and I go, I didn't know moving to LA that none of this should work out.
Right.
And I think that is the gift of being, you know, young and innocent and not having any idea that these dreams should not happen. And just went there, but, you know, it worked out. You never know. It's that actress mentality of you never know when you're not going to work again. It's also why I'm sure Dondre likes to tell everyone I'm cheap. I'm frugal, but it's because I'm, you never, in my mind, I never know when something could stop, what could happen.
Well,
So
prior to-
I'm packing it away, and more money to me means more money to save.
I remember it was probably about 10 years ago where I was talking to an actor, and he was like, look, 98% of actors are unemployed
Yep.
at any given time. And what's interesting, because we talk about golf, it's interesting how this is how I know things have changed. So in playing in these golf tournaments, I remember, especially with George Lopez golf tournament, I first started playing in George's tournament, brothers and sisters left and right. Because you didn't have a lot of opportunities. And as I track the streaming services, as I track how all these things have exploded, it's really interesting how fewer and fewer of us
Or at the tournaments.
At the tournaments. Because cats are working. And so a whole lot has really changed in the last 5 years for African Americans, not just in front of the screen, but also behind. Agree?
Agree. And I think that hopefully that will be the reason why this isn't a phase again. You know, we've had I was just literally watching some documentary on YouTube about, you know, the Black exploitation films of that era.
Right.
But I think that it's because we have more people who are writing, because writing is key. Writing and creating these shows and execs and,
It's not a
and
phase.
producing. No, I don't think so.
No, this is not a phase.
Because it's different, but that's what I'm saying. It's different now
absolutely different.
because we're not just acting. We have people who are now getting to that studio level, or that level where you don't need other people's money. You can do it yourself,
Right.
And that's how we can create and stay there.
Right. And I think what has happened is with the resources that are outside Hollywood, coupled with these services, you have to have content.
Yeah.
And you can. Before, look, you had your broadcast networks, your cable networks, that you had your Big Seven studios. Now they are. Look, HBO and the studios are scrapping because all of a sudden they're not competing against these new entrants. And then you talk about the independent opportunities. Look, when I launched my OTT network, Black Star Network, again, creating content and serving a particular audience. And now it's no longer just, okay, I want to reach as many people as possible. Now, look, if I reach a narrow window, I can still be successful catering to that particular audience.
Well, for me, it's the first time in my career where I feel comfortable that it's going to be okay. I'm going to work. I'm going to be able to do the kind of projects that I want to do. It's the first, I've been in this business a long time, and it's the first time where I'm like, I'm good. I think this is, I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable. And I think that's for a lot of people, they're feeling that way.
Do you miss acting? And what you talked about earlier, okay, look, when you're acting, you can do your thing and go chill. But do you miss that part? Or is directing even more fulfilling than acting?
I miss acting sometimes. I think it's because the quality of projects I've been working on, watching some of those actors, people who I really respect, it gives me this this desire to want to be a part of that.
You're the director. Put yourself in it.
Well, but that doesn't mean some of the projects, and I have every once in a while, but I think eventually I will. But I don't know, but I think it's becoming so long now. I'm getting a little nervous about it. I don't like.
It's like riding a bike. Hold on, what did you just say about golf? Muscle memory.
Believe it or not, I don't. It's a weird, and I know you can give me crap when I say this. It's a weird thing about getting older and wanting to really see yourself on camera. All I see when I see myself on camera now or in pictures is age.
Girl, stop it.
That is my own thing in my head.
Sally, you know doggone well you can walk out there with no makeup on, hair half combed. Don't.
I feel comfortable in person with people. It's on camera. It's a different thing. I know. I'm just gonna accept my own issues, but to go to something that it's
it's some 30-year-old women out there going like, damn, I wish I could look like her. You know that.
But it doesn't matter. That's not what I see. But that being said, I'm going to go away from that. I love directing. It's a different kind of piece. It's a different kind of, I do believe that the 30 years I was acting was to prepare me for what I'm supposed to be doing and that what I really am good at.
But when you were acting, were you even thinking about directing?
Nope.
Were you, so what the hell happened?
If you had asked me 15 years ago, I probably would have said, no, I don't know. I was doing Ava DuVernay's first film, I Will Follow.
Mm-hmm.
And sometime during that process, probably
You know, shoot that like in 14 days or something, 7
Yep.
days, something real quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
It all took place in one place. I had one outfit. It was like a film that took place in 24 hours or something, packing a house. And during that process, I think because it was her first film, maybe
She's self-taught.
Absolutely. I probably gave too many suggestions. And at some point, Ava said to me, I think you're a director and you don't know it. And literally just her saying it made me think about it. Just made me think about it. And then think about kind of the way I am on set, how I'm always there looking at the monitor. Being on other films where I'm like,
see how I'm aging. Let me look at the monitor, see how I'm aging.
but you kind of look back, but she really did tweak it in my head. And I was on Eureka and went and called a few directors who I'd worked with before and said, hey, can I shadow you? I think I'm interested. Did that. You know Eric Lonneville? Mm-hmm. Eric was amazing. Eric was really the guy who said, absolutely, come to any show, really helped me in the beginning.
Folks watch St. Elsewhere.
Yes. And director of hundreds and hundreds of hours of TV. And then my show, Eureka, I said, hey, I want to give this a shot. They said yes. And from the very first episode, I went, I get this. It just felt right.
So I think a lot of people, I do believe in gifting. I do believe in gifting. I do believe in vision, and also when other people don't see it. And I think one of the things that people struggle with is they sort of have this perception: I can only do one thing, as opposed to, no, I can do more things. But how they associate it? I tell this story all the time. I went to School of Communications, high school, Jack Yates High School, same high school Debbie Allen and Felicia Rashad went to, so it's interesting. So our sophomore year, so freshman year, we'll take basic courses. Sophomore year, then we can enter our so-called major. So you get to pick radio, television, print, which track you want to go on. So pick television. And first semester, we literally could not go into the studio. It was locked. Mary Waits wouldn't let us go into the studio. We could learn glossary, definitions, this cable, to know the technical piece. So the first day of the second semester, she unlocks the door. And so students, they're like just waiting. They're like rush in, they all rush to the set. I count. I literally go. She was standing right next to me. I go, where's the person sitting who tell them what to do? She said, they're sitting there in control. I said, I'll be in control. And it wasn't, oh, I want to control the process. It literally was, can't everybody be on set? And that's the thing for me that probably drives me crazy when I meet people who want to be actors, who want to be TV reporters or anchors, is that they're so fixated the on-camera piece, but they don't ask themselves why I want to be on camera. And I had a sister who told me, she's like, yeah, but you're on camera. I said, no, I don't think you understand.
Yeah,
I said,
doing all this back, yeah.
I said, I have control of the product. I said, if I was just on camera, I said, I absolutely would not be interested in it.
But I think that that is also what we're talking about. I think it's about access and seeing the things. I I had never seen, I had never, I don't think, maybe I had one or two women my whole career direct
Right.
me. I surely hadn't had black women. And even for me, I think, I don't know if I ever felt limited, but it just wasn't in my radar that I could be doing
Right. It's the concept
that.
when you don't know, you don't know.
And a lot of kids now are now, because when I talk to people, I go, hey, it's not just about acting. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And I think people are now getting a little more open. I don't know, maybe Instagram and all this stuff, but
folks are.
that there are different positions and that are just as important. And it's not just about being an actor.
Well,
and in
it's-
reality, it's a better behind the camera.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to again in the high school. She would, when we watched movies, she would make us watch the movie to the absolute end.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh, just to see the whole list of everybody who's
cameras
working.
from Panavision.
Mhm.
I don't even know why. I mean, I had to see, and her whole deal was you can't watch a movie without also watching who actually made the movie.
Mm.
And it was just putting it in our heads that we need to understand that no project happens without all of these different people. And those are also jobs. David Talbert and I were talking, and he said, man, people don't realize. He said, I might shoot a movie, and that's the only thing I'm working on for the whole year. He said, the folks who worked on a movie, they may be working on 4 movies in that year.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to get young folks to understand all of the jobs that are behind the scenes. And again, that's where, because so many people look,
But they want the quick, people want the quick money. I think that
I don't
people
think it's
aren't.
the money, it's also the adulation.
Yeah, of course.
being
It's the
known,
quick
being
money,
seen,
being famous,
without
and
realizing,
not the.
as Paula Madison told me, she said, Roland, she said, the long money
Exactly.
is behind the camera. She said, that's the long money.
And believe me, when people are like, oh, do you make so much more money directing when I first started? I go, in reality, my salary as an actress was much more than I could make as a TV director if I had just stayed doing, say, guest directing and stuff.
Right.
You can only direct so many shows a season. As an actress, I can do, maybe at the time, like when I did
If it's a
Eureka,
show,
we
it's
do 20 episodes
20,
a
22
season.
episodes.
And I'm getting paid as a director, you can only do probably about 6 episodes
Right.
a year. So I'm like, yes, I said, but I'm looking at the long money.
Right.
Because I know, besides the fact that I love it and it's my passion, but I know that eventually I know where I'm going with this, with my directing. And it's going to be the thing that is my longevity. It's going to be the thing that is really going to be the security for my kids
Yes.
and for my family.
Yes. I mean, that is precise.
Yeah.
That is precisely it. I had, when I was at my TV One show, I had a sister who, absolutely, positively, today should be a 7-figure executive producer.
Mm-hmm.
But she wanted to be on camera. Saw it within the first 2 months, said, you will be an executive producer one day. All of the skills, but it was, and so left because we wouldn't give the honor opportunities. Like, but there's no honor opportunity here. And I was sitting there going, look, I know you want to be on air, but the reality is that's actually not your skill set. I mean, everything you described,
Right.
organize, focus, can produce packages, all of those different things, and was going here and here and here and here and here and here and here. Finally joined doing co-host of a radio show. And I would still, if I ran to her today, I would still tell her, you're actually out of position.
Yeah.
You're out of position.
But see, I think what's worked for me is that as much as I was acting and in that kind of limelight, it's fun for me still. I don't have that great need to have to be.
It's not your oxygen.
It's not. I mean,
There's some people,
you can tell, listen, you see my post. You see how much I post and how much I don't post. I post about work. I'm not, half the time I don't post because I'm like, oh God, now I got to wash my hair. I got to do this. I'm like, because, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into these Instagram. But I'm like, I'll like today, I'll probably go post something. I'm like, good, my hair and makeup's done. I can post something. But I feel like this is people's job. They get up, they do the hair and makeup, and it's about that. It's not that great of a need for me. I'm okay with
Right, and that's
my need is to make money and it is to make money and fulfill my artistic drive, and that does not have to be in front of the camera. I'm okay if I'm with my friends and you recognize them more than me, or it's been so long since I've done something so I'm really not that relevant anymore. I'm okay because I know that I'm working.
Pull up a chair, take your seat. The Black Tape with me, Dr. Greg Carr, here on the Black Star Network. Every week, we'll take a deeper dive into the world we're living in. Join the conversation only on the Black Star Network.
this goes even beyond media. And I think for a lot of people, I think, first of all, most people have never arrived at the point of what makes me free. What I mean by that is, am I doing something that I truly, truly love, where, yes, we want to get paid, but actually the money doesn't matter. Because I am operating in this space where I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. We were at the Anthony Anderson golf tournament, and I was talking with Ken Griffey Jr. And we were talking about technology and drones. And I just had a conversation with Don Cheadle. I sent him something. I was like, oh my God, this FPV drone video is crazy. He was like, dude, you are an absolute. He said, you are an absolute tech geek.
You love that stuff.
But the thing for me though is what you can do with it. And so when I'm watching something, I'm sitting here thinking, oh man, we could shoot this and we can do this. And so for me, it's still okay. The camera angle, it's like, okay, so all right, so that's Sally's shot. Okay, so like what's behind her, and so what's going to be the color, and that's still for me goes back to being in high school. So it's the shot, and it's just like, oh, that cameraman moving. I was flying the drone at the Anthony deal. In fact, we were 30 minutes from going on air, and normally we have the drone live in the air, and something happened. We actually, and I'm glad I did this because we took us about an hour to get the shot up because something was wrong with one of the cables. And it was 30 minutes before air. It already set up. I was coming off the course, and I was like, yo, we had played a golf hole earlier. I said, I have got to get that shot. I walk over. I was like, give me the drone.
You gonna do it?
No, because they were setting up.
Right.
Because also during the show, I'm flying the drone while I'm live on the show. Like I'll be sitting here, look, they behind the cameras. I'll be sitting there flying the drone live during the show, straight up. And I was like, yo, give me a drone. So I raced to the 10th hole because when we played the hole, I'm playing the hole and I was like, oh, this is a great shot here. And then the sun was setting, got that sucker, and again, so it was just the fun part of it. Not me hosting a show, but being able to get the shot and play it and then watch it back. Like, okay, I'm gonna do the show.
For me, there's a sense of peace in something that's beautiful.
Oh,
and, okay, so going back to how crazy I am at home with being neat and organized, it all does play into me directing in my work, because there's something about things. No, it's crazy. It's like literally there's something about things in the right place. I'm looking at you right now. You have this beautiful symmetry of two plants. I mean, but it's not the same thing, because if it was the same, it wouldn't be right. You have this red dog sculptured thing here, but it's right at the perfect position. You have your green, like all of this now is
Right,
feeling good,
right.
feeling good to me.
Right.
If I was shooting, I might get up and move something over an inch, and I see little smudges on something. I go up there and
Right.
and they'd be mad at me because I'm cleaning it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, all those little issues I have in life really pay off in my work. But I do love, yeah, I love a beautiful picture. I love a pretty all the
I'm
time.
trying to get people to. When I worked at the Fort Worth Star Telegram, so it's my second job out, making $34,100. We were having this conversation, and we were talking about different jobs and what they pay. So we're in the newsroom one day, and I said to them, if they were paying me $75,000 to $100,000 to do this reporting job, I said and this was all I could do. I said, but if I was getting paid $50,000 to have complete freedom and joy, I said, I'll take the 50. And they're like, are you crazy? I said, folks, you're going to get used to the new salary after the third month. I said, now what? I said, when you wake up every day, it's okay. I said, granted, 90 to 100,000 is fine. I said, but you're going to get used to the new salary. I said, but are you enjoying it? Are you loving it? I said, is it making you feel great? I said, when you see the finished product, how do you feel?
Right.
And I've had this conversation with so many people, and I'm seeing individuals who have made very good money, but who are miserable.
Yeah.
Who are not happy.
But I do want to tell people, because this sounds great, and I am loving what I'm doing, and money is better than it used to be. Now, do I wake up every morning in love? There are, I love what I'm doing, but there are times on certain shows and projects and certain days that I wake up miserable. Not miserable, but like stressed.
Right.
Stress, and the bigger it gets, more stress. But I still love it.
But that comes, first of all, that comes with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing you're doing great, ain't no stress involved.
Yeah, but people start believing that it should be, you should just be happy all the time.
No, it ain't
you can't be,
utopia all
no,
day. No.
No. There's times I'm like, why am I doing, and there's times where I go, why am I not just acting? That would be so much easier than this. This is so stressful. I just hate all these people here. But at the end product of it, I'm like, okay, it is worth it, because there is some pain through through loving.
Right, but again, though, for me, walking people through it is still the two words that have just defined me, that I've lived by since I was 24: freedom and flexibility.
Yeah,
those two words are the most important for me, because it defines everything and allows for me to be able to just have joy, and then think beyond even that particular moment where that's driving you crazy.
Well, and that's why my working so much is about getting more freedom. I know that sounds, but the harder I work, the more I get here, it's the more freedom I'm getting to do the kind of projects that I want to do. So it's been a lot of hard work and being away from home to get more freedom.
Absolutely.
I don't know how that makes sense, but it works. But
I will say this here: it's great being in California. And when does the leaf blower ban go into?
I don't think it'll ever go.
No, it's going. No, it's signed into law. No, it's signed into law. There's not a ban on leaf blowers in California.
Really?
Yes, that's signed.
Because they just hear all the time.
Yeah, no, that's signed into law. So yeah, but it's all good though. Alexander, I'm not worried about it. That's called real life.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that I try to sort of walk people through as well, which is I get with television in Hollywood, the whole make believe thing, but I actually like to show people the real, like, y'all, this was real, okay? Everything is not just perfectly coiffed and in place, and things are all. I'm like, it don't happen that way.
Yeah.
And some people don't know how to deal with that when stuff isn't perfectly in line? How do you, because being Miss OCD, everything got to be in place, everything. Okay, how do you even go, all right, let me just accept when everything is not perfect?
Because I really don't, as much as I'd like it, I don't really have a complete problem with it. I've learned, I have children. Once you have children and you have animals and you're married, all these things, at a certain point you have to go, I've had to learn to walk in the door and there's a pile of shoes there. And I look over in the living room and I'm like, nobody saw that the dog peed right here. Like, I've had to just.
But I'm with you though.
Release.
Okay, at home, this was hilarious. At home, I'm unbothered by that. I can
but
deal with
at work.
That. And not at work. See, that's a whole different deal. I am.
But at work, you have to have it. For me as a director, I also have to have it at work because it's a huge machine. I'm sorry, a huge machine with hundreds of people working. I have to be a great director, you also have to be willing to kind of go with the flow sometimes and make split decisions when things aren't going right. When that's happening, I was shooting a show in on Venice Beach where we had a guy on a megaphone who was not going to shut up until you paid him off, and then he got mad and he wasn't going to shut up after that. And how do you work around that?
Right.
I have some crazy actor who doesn't want to do this. Now I have to massage you this way. Mm-hmm. So as much as I'm OCD, I also have a great skill of maneuvering around obstacles and getting what I need and getting what I want.
Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punch!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home. You dig? I am probably, I absolutely, for me, I'm OCD when it comes to gear, equipment, and stuff being in place.
Is that right, guys?
No, they know. It's real interesting when you start thinking back to like, how did you get to be this person, this sort of thing. And so it's crazy to me how so much for me is growing up. My grandmother had a catering business and starting when I was 7 years old and helping with weddings. And we had to prepare for putting together the wedding on and going to her house. We lived 8 blocks away, going to her house on Monday. And okay, what's the wedding? How many people? Glasses, plastic, silk, real flowers. Okay, candelabras, no candelabras. Aisle runner, is it clean? I start going this sort of stuff. So I did that until I was 30. So even when I was a journalist, I was still doing stuff that was catering. And that level of detail planning and having to have stuff, having it in place when something comes up, that you not bring the wire cutters. You know we're going to cut. That you not bring the shears. Do you know it was like, okay, this a certain type of tape that we have. We use stickum. Like all of those small little things that when we were in that church and the wedding is starting in an hour and you got to get this stuff done. And then we got to leave from there. Then we got to go into the reception hall. And then it's okay that you bring the right push pins for the tablecloth, that you bring the skirt. Okay, are they doing linen tops, plastic top? I'm 10, 11 years old.
Right.
And that's literally every week, especially from April through September, where especially with your June brides. It's crazy. So for me, I am absolutely that way when it comes to when we're going to. It's kind of like, how do we leave that? How do we not bring that?
Right.
Did we not think that we may have needed that? Okay, and it's just, and I went to our equipment room, and I walked in, and I felt like Howard Hughes in The Aviator, because it was stuff everywhere. And the reason that drives me crazy, because again, I go back to when we have to find something and it's not in this place. Like even when I pack my gear bag, all my stuff is in the exact place, because if there is a hole, I know exactly what is missing. So I'm not trying to figure out.
Got you.
No, hard drive's supposed to be here. And that just, and it drives me like I would drive the crew crazy, because I'm like, no, because something's going to happen. And that is the one thing we're going to need. And if we had, going back to the wedding stuff, if we had done the work Monday through Friday, come Saturday, we're not looking for it.
What's real interesting you saying that is because like the more you were talking about how that basically kind of informed who you are now, I don't know what laid the groundwork.
Your parents weren't that way?
I think both of my parents are very neat, orderly. My father, we do have a tendency in the Richardson family to be literally OCD.
That's the foundation.
But to be the director that I am, I don't know where it comes from.
But see, here's the deal though. I'm telling you, I
just don't, or that creative thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's from my parents. I know my work ethic is. I don't know what, I don't quite know what that is.
If you, because you don't like doing it, that's part of the problem, because you won't sit still. If you actually sat still
and thought about
just
it,
thought, I'm telling you, because it is, people ask me all the time, dude, you just talk to anybody. You just roll up, and I was like, yeah, I saw my dad do it. No, my parents didn't go to college.
Right.
My dad worked for Amtrak, but growing up, we would be somewhere, and we might be in a store, and hell, in 5 minutes, you swear he know the security guard for 30 years, the way they over there talking.
Right.
Saw it. My dad introduced me at the church, and he said something like, I don't know when my son gets this. I'm like, I'm looking more, yeah, I do. And I realized, because that's what I saw. And when we start thinking about literally just
you're right.
what
I mean, my
we
mother
saw,
was
and we didn't even process it. It just actually happened. But it's the same thing. I saw he would walk in, he would speak to people. I also saw how he would we were leaving a family member's house. We all stopped by Popeyes. And mind you, I got it's 5 kids. Okay, so my mom, dad, 5 kids, so 7 people. So we were leaving a family member's house. We had eaten, so it was about 9:45. Place closed at 10. So dad was like, look, they're gonna throw out a bunch of this chicken away. So we go in, and he's essentially negotiating.
Right.
So we're all sitting over here, table. He's negotiating. So me and my brother decide to walk up. And he turns to us, did anybody ask y'all to come over here? I don't need your help. Go sit down. So when I was watching the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, that scene when Kevin Spacey walks out and Al Pacino is talking to the dude, and basically like, look, dude, you can't get your money back. But he's not trying to tell him that. And Spacey comes out, oh no, Mr. So-and-so, everything's fine. Your check was sent this morning. And then the guy just starts losing it. And Pacino looks at him, he's like, if you don't know the play, shut the fuck up. And I'm telling you, there were those moments growing up. My dad was like, if you don't know what I'm doing, I don't go sit down. I literally did that the other day. It's just like, why y'all talking? I don't need y'all to talk. I'm working on something.
Yep.
Just stand your ass over there. We gonna get what we want. but I don't need y'all contributing nothing to this conversation. And I think it's just one of those. That was literally where I experienced it growing up.
No, I think when I think about it now, I mean, my mother was in the music business for a while. She worked at the Defender in Chicago.
She did?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Doing what?
I think she was she was a photographer.
Really?
For a while. She was a photographer.
You
Yeah.
know, ran Chicago Defender.
You know Sharif, who
Sharif.
used to work over there?
Mm-mm.
But my mother's, older than you, so she worked there before you were there.
Yeah. I was
But
executive editor, then became general manager.
mother worked at the Defender and ran a recording studio, and then worked at Chicago State University.
See, it was
So it's kind of there. I
watching
watched
that,
it.
seeing
I watched
that,
it. Yeah.
and all those different pieces.
Yeah.
It all comes together, and I think
And watching my mom is she's a hustler. She don't stop. Even she's retired now, and still she can't be still either. But she had to take care. She a divorced woman. Even though my father was around, I still saw my father and he still helped. But she was still doing it on her own, and that's the mindset. I still have.
When you see it, when you live it, and it's a part of it, you
And
absolutely
I do hope now, as much as I want to be home for my kids, I look and I go, this has to be a blessing for my daughter and my son. I want my daughter to know this is the kind of woman you need to be, and I want my son to know this is the kind of woman you need to be looking for. And hopefully it's not something that they go opposite.
See, what drives me crazy, and I think this is, it's actually good and it's bad depending upon who's on the receiving end of it. Being this way can drive people crazy, but being this way has saved a whole bunch of asses.
And both are true.
And folk get mad when it's one thing, but then it's kind of like, damn, let me show this. Everybody else on this one. And it's one of those things where Peter Roussel, who was deputy press secretary to Vice President George H.W. Bush, who's an adjunct professor at Texas A&M, this is what he told me. He said, Roland, he said, the thing that most people really love about you is the very thing that most people hate about you.
Absolutely.
He said, so you have to accept it. He said, and for those who hate it, it's their problem.
Well, and I think that you and I are the same, that at this point in my life, I am who I am. And I think it's not a bad thing to be. And I think that everyone in my family probably hates and loves me for who I am.
Yeah, but again, depending upon what the situation, they're like, I'm so glad she ain't no like that. And again, sometimes they're going to hate it. Other times they're gonna love it.
Off, when we talk about the money thing, he'll try to buy me something extravagant, and he knows that he has to warn me. He's like, okay, don't get mad, because he knows in my mind I'm like, we need to spend that money. I'm fine. I don't need that purse, But I've had to learn how to
accept the damn gift. Yes, accept the damn gift.
Okay, I don't need that bag.
Here's sort of how I am. Go buy what you want. Like I literally don't. Seriously, I can't think of the last time Jackie bought me something.
For everyone else, the kids, I'll get anything for you in the world. What do you need? I don't want you to go to school and have nobody teasing you about some shoes when you're at this private school, and I can afford to get you some nice shoes. For me. And it's not like I don't have some nice things sometimes. I do have to go in public. I am in LA. I don't want to go around looking crazy.
But there's this sort of this frugal mindset, which goes back to you don't know if there's going to be a role next week versus, I get it. But I'm
not trying to be those people who are out here pretending. I see people all the time where I look and I just see their lifestyle and I go, I don't know how, unless they got some secret business.
No, they don't. Like that was some rapper. I would name him.
For this?
Bro had like 4 cars repossessed in 1 year.
That ain't gonna be me.
No, that's not gonna be me either. Because for me, what drives me crazy the most, when you talk about I am who I am, I said this in a speech once, and I said, I'm content and ambitious. Content in that if I don't do more, if I don't make more, if I don't have a bigger house, if I don't travel to these places, absolutely love my life. Absolutely no
See,
complaints.
I'm thinking about that.
No complaint. No, let me walk.
Yeah,
See what?
no, I'm
So
thinking,
again,
just thinking
so
about
like
what you're saying. Am I
I've done
content?
these great things. I've played in these celebrity tournaments. I've played these gorgeous courses. I've gone these places. So if I don't do anything more, if my life literally stays where it is, I am very content with the life that I've had. But at the same time, I'm still ambitious in that what I'm pursuing. What I really mean by that is, because what happens is there are people who are not content. And it's always the next thing. I need the next thing. No, I've got to have a bigger house, a bigger car.
Right.
I got to have this. And so they never actually enjoy what they have. And the reality is, if that's you, you're never going to reach the point of being content.
Right.
So it's fine. I'm telling you. So
no, I'm thinking.
it's
Where do I lie in this definition of content? I'm content with certain things in my life. Is that okay?
Like what?
I'm content with my family. I have a really lovely family. Love my kids. Love my husband.
See, what this means, this doesn't
which
mean,
is a good thing.
Right,
a lot of people
right,
don't
this-
have that family to
right,
be content
right.
with.
Content doesn't see. Here's I think the problem with the word content for some people. It's not what's implied; it's what they infer. It doesn't mean
You're satisfied. That's not a good word.
No.
Satisfied.
What it means is God has blessed me with these things, and I am pleased with what I have received.
Yes.
I've enjoyed it. It's been great. It's been wonderful. And if I'm not I've never been to Paris. I've never been to Thailand. I've never been to all different places. I've never been to Ghana twice. Haven't been to South Africa and other countries. If I never go, I'm good. But it doesn't mean I still don't want to go.
I think
It's the people who aren't satisfied, aren't content, who basically demean or diminish what they've done, where they've gone, what they've accomplished, and it's the next thing. And the reality is that means that you'll never actually be happy because there will always be another thing.
I'm okay.
There'll always be there.
I'm in there. I think a lot of what I want a lot more in my life. I want more in my career, but I think really now I want that for my kids. So as much as I'm working for me and I enjoy what I'm doing and I want to keep moving up that ladder, everything now for me is just laying that foundation so that my children will be okay when I can't work anymore and as they go to college and move on and make it easier. We haven't always had that opportunity as people of color.
Absolutely.
to set our children up for fantastic futures. And that is what I'm all about right now. How do I make it so if my daughter's interested in doing real estate so that as soon as she graduates from business school, I'm like, okay, I'll help you buy your first piece of property.
There you go.
Oh, you're at college? Well, how about we just we'll buy that apartment for your dorm and then you can rent.
Right.
Just kind of setting my children up to have much more than I ever did and to start at a higher level.
See,
That's really what I care about.
So we raised 6 of my nieces. I don't have any kids. For me, it's so funny when we think back what happened with like growing up. Like one of the things that drove me crazy, and it still drives me crazy. I hated these conversations. My dad would be like, if I had money. I was like, we don't. Why are we having this conversation? No, I don't like that. Again, I go back to that content and ambitious. It drove me crazy So I'm like, for me, it was like, you're torturing yourself. Why? I have friends that are private planes. I flew on, great, enjoy myself. I would get my ass on a commercial airline and ain't no problem whatsoever. Like literally, no, I don't feel like I'm bad. Man, I wish I had. Don't faze me a bit.
Right.
And that sort of goes back to that whole content ambitious thing. And and I'm saying, and it drove me crazy. Look, love my parents to death, but it drove me crazy because I'm like, okay, if you don't, you don't. For me, it's just like, yo, it is what it is. And if I see something, hey, great, that's wonderful. That's cool. I'm still cool with what I got. It's like with cars. I've never been a crazy car person.
I think that is, there are times when I do my best not to want what other people have. I think a lot of times that's why I do shut out social media. You'll be really happy about your day, and then you open up Instagram and somebody who's doing the same thing that you're doing has something. Well, I know that it can change my mood. But I also can be very honest with myself when I know that you're being ridiculous, Salli. Life is great. You don't know if that's even true.
Right.
Enjoy this. And because I know I do struggle with that. So I'll just take that time and go, just thank God right now for all these amazing things that you have.
That's what I mean.
And
content. Right.
And but that doesn't mean I can't.
Right.
I have envy at times. I have friends that I go, well, what? Even as much success as it seems that I have, I can still look at Regina and go, well, damn it, I want to act too and have what, but that's Regina's path and she deserves it because she works really hard. This is my path. And I just go, let me recenter myself.
Right.
But I do have those. I have those. I fight it a little bit.
That's weird for me because I'm telling you.
But most people can't even accept and won't even say that they struggle with it. I know I struggle with it, but I do know at the end of the day, I'm really happy with where I am. I just have to, I can't let that temptation of.
Yes.
It's temptation. It's just bad energy, and it's what this new world is
wanting
about.
and desiring what somebody else has, to your whole point.
Yeah.
If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. I've never, and I guess I have had such a I don't give a shit what other people think attitude.
I had to learn that though. I'm always been a people pleaser. I want people to
see that's because I've never I
but you've known me a while. It doesn't seem like I'm like that because I'm kind of both. Like I'm like that, but then at a certain point I'm like, well, fuck you then.
Right. See, me, I start with the well, fuck you.
I've gotten, but now I'm more in peace with who I am, and I can't be a people pleaser and do what I do.
No,
I have to.
But I think that's where
I'm conflicted, Roman.
No, you're not.
Roland, I'm conflicted.
You're human.
But you know what? I think that people have to. I don't know. I think it's great to accept that you're conflicted and
first of all, if you are, you are. So and
not to deny it, so I can work on it. I'll go to therapy about it.
When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com. For me, what I try to encourage people is, I'm telling you, I literally do not know. I take it back. I do know where it came from, because we talked about that earlier. We can watch somebody, and it's like, because you talked about your mom was this,
Yeah.
so you followed that path. See, I think we can also watch somebody and then go, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to do
I'm not
that.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was growing up when I would, and it wasn't like a survival instinct, but growing up when I had peers, and I'll never forget when polos and Izods were like the hot thing. And I remember we were, and I mean, it was crazy.
I remember that, and we could not afford
I was
it.
in junior high school, and I was sitting across from this guy, and
Polos were everything.
I was looking at his Izod, and I'm like,
Polo
bruh,
and Izod.
your Izod is crooked. Come to find out,
It was fake.
it was sewn on. They had bought a regular shirt. They had bought, but here's the thing, and I said, so you mean tell me y'all went through all that trouble to sew on? I said, you know it's the same shirt. I said, the shirt literally is the same shirt, except for the Izod on your left breast. I was like, bro, y'all went through all that trouble? And I was like, for a polo and an Izod?
See, I think
I couldn't understand that.
I grew up, so in Hyde Park, I went to the lab school. And we weren't like, my mother gets so mad if I say we didn't have money. But we didn't have a lot of money. I'm sorry, mother. But I went to a private school with kids with a lot of money.
Right.
And they had all of that. And and I probably carried this. That's why I don't want to spend money.
Right.
I'd go around and I always wear t-shirts and blue jeans because I couldn't afford to dress up like them. So I would just go, well, I'm a tomboy. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about the makeup and the purses and the jeans and stuff because I knew I couldn't afford it. So it's better just to say it like that. But I did, and I had all my friends who were in Jack and Jill and all that. And I still to this day feel very uncomfortable with people who kind of came from that world because I just didn't have it. And I think that's where this need still comes from.
That was sort of your shield.
It was my
to
shield.
deal with it.
Yeah, which is probably why I
didn't have it, and so let me create this whole deal with like I don't give a damn.
I don't give a
Y'all
damn.
got it. And when you actually did give a damn, which I created the shield.
Yeah.
That was the thing for it was if there was one thing I absolutely appreciate about my parents is that was actually put in us. I think I just took it to like the 100th degree where I literally did not. We were having a discussion. We were talking about Air Jordans, and these people were like, they were going back and forth. And, oh man, growing up, they would start describing this edition. They asked me, I was like, nah, I never owned a pair.
Yeah.
And looked at me, I said, man, did you think I was gonna be spending $100 for a pair of damn tennis shoes? I was like, oh hell no, because that literally was how I was raised. It was like that's not of importance. I could go to school looking clean, neat, just fine. I remember my brother and I were 1 year, 1 day apart. He's November 13th, I'm November 14th. My parents bought us a pair of Jordache jeans. People think we were twins. We're not. They bought us, I'll never forget, a pair of Jordache jeans.
Oh my God.
A pair of Jordache jeans. It was a cognac belt. It was 2 polos. played, came in, gave it to our birthday. I remember sitting in the living room, got the gift. Probably about 15 minutes later, I walk into their room. I said, look, I appreciate this, but y'all can take these Jordache jeans back and get me 3 Levi's. Y'all can take these 2 polos back and get me 5 shirts. Now I got 3 jeans, 3 pair of jeans and 5 shirts
For the cost.
for the cost of 1 pair of Jordache jeans and these 2 polos. And my mom and dad looked at me like I was outside my mind. And I was like I appreciate this. I think probably was like 15, 16. But I literally was like,
You know what's funny is that's my daughter now. She, as much as, and she goes to school with all the kids who have everything. But somehow she's me. And she'll go shopping and there'll be like a sweatshirt that's like $75, which is, and she's like, oh, Mom, you don't have to get that. That's way too, I don't need that. I'm fine with this. And she's already kind of in that spot and doesn't care so much. But she may be just doing me and pretending that I don't care.
see, and I wasn't pretending. It was just, I literally did not. Going to school, I did not.
But what's crazy
care.
right now, you're making me really think about the fact that I still operate in life at times with this kind of stuff, with all the stuff, with all the purses. And not that, like I said, I have my own thing. I have some things, but that I still operate on, I don't care about that stuff. And that's how I can make it through this crazy California world of people who that's all they care about is that stuff. Is that if I just pretend that I don't care about it, then I don't get sucked in to spending all my money.
Yeah, I mean, I knew a guy. I was at a movie junket, and this guy said that he had to get off Instagram. He said he took really nice vacations with his family, but he had to get off Instagram. He said because he said
Didn't look as good as their trips.
Right, and I looked at him and I was like, "Are you serious?" He said, "It doesn't bother you?" I said, "Man, I don't give a damn." I said, "Hell no."
And their trip ain't even that
He
trip.
was just like, I said, "Bro," I said, "Man, when I'm sitting there looking at Magic Johnson and Sam Jackson with LL Cool J on the yacht. I said, this is me. That's cool. Next. I said, when I see Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle flying around the world, I'm like, all right, that's cool. I said, dude, it doesn't even register with me. We had this, he said, no, I just couldn't handle it. I said, man.
No, I'm not that crazy.
When it was so funny. It was so funny. I got, at the end of 2020, I had to pay this doggone, I knew we were going to pay a lot of taxes. We had a very good year. And so my accountant said, you can write 100% off a vehicle purchase. So we're going to do an SUV. So I ended up getting a Mercedes Sprinter.
Right.
Or the show. Because travel, broadcast, from all that sort of stuff. And it was probably a month after I had it. I was like, damn, this is the first Mercedes I ever owned. And I was like, unlike the rest of these fools, it's a whole tax write-off.
Right.
But it was just because I never, like even the car thing. I remember I had a Toyota Corolla. I was like,
listen, this is the first time we now have, the last few years Dondre wanted the Tesla. I got a new Lincoln. Before that, we've been driving around in 2 cars that I bought used, cash. And he deals with me. He's been going, can we just get?
And he looked at the bank account going, boom.
He goes, can we just get a new car?
Boom.
And I finally was like, okay. And I call my accountant. I'm like, we could get 2 cars. He goes, yeah.
The account like,
you
really
can
calling
get,
me, but
you can get. He goes, and you're going to lease these 2 cars because you need the write-off. And Dondre's like, for the love of God, please let us get a new car. He finally put his foot down on flying. He goes, listen, I'm not flying, Coach.
Oh, hell,
But I'd be like, well, why can't you go to Southwest there? I don't, I'm like, it's quick.
No.
He finally was like, I'm done with you and the cheap flights.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's a few hours on the plane. Why would we spend so much money on a flight?
No,
Yeah.
bruh.
He put his foot down.
Look, and look, in many ways, my wife was sort of like you. When we were sitting there, I got a board meeting in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
We were going, and I was like, look, it's like board meeting is 3. I'm like, we got 12 days. Board meeting 3 days. I said, I'm going to play Kapalua in Maui. So we were trying to remember where we stayed. So we're looking through this whole thing. She's like, I'm looking at it. She's like, oh my goodness, but this hotel here, okay, this is where we stayed. Oh my God, it's $1,500 a night. I was like, well, it's probably what the hell we paid last time. So she was sitting there, I was like, book the damn room.
Yeah, that, oof.
No, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I've been trying to book a trip forever, and every time I look at a hotel, I'm like, oh, that's so much money.
Because I was sitting there, I was like, no, you busted, book the room. Because I'm just, and I literally said, I've already agreed to get a speech on our anniversary, and I think I'm getting paid like 20 grand. I said, the trip paid for. She's kind of like, yeah, you got a point. I'm like, book the room. I said, I can't, like, to your point about
getting better.
To your point about why we work.
Mm-hmm.
Why we work.
It should be to enjoy our life.
Yeah, because you can't take it with you.
Well, maybe this therapy will help me later.
Yeah, this is a therapy session right here. I'm telling you. Well, my dad, the bathroom got messed up at my house in Dallas. I used to own my house. My parents lived in my house. My dad called me, and he was sitting there going, I don't need to hear all that. Go get 2 beds, call me back. Dad, I don't need to hear all that.
Right.
Like, I don't need to hear what happened, what fell off, what need to be repaired. Look. And then he calls me. He's like, well, call so-and-so, and it's going to be this. I was like, okay, but what's the problem? I was like, man, call the dude back, tell him he's going to get a half. I said, what does he need to get started? And he was like, I said, fine.
I'll do that all day for my family.
But the thing is, my deal is, I'm not about to sit there and have this conversation. Dad, I work hard. Again, I go back to that. I wish we had money. Yeah. Conversations that drove me crazy. Mm-hmm. Now I can pay for it. Okay. Dude, how much this costs?
Roland, I'm gonna shake all this off, and I'm gonna stop living like that.
This was gonna help you the most. This is the one's gonna help you the most. We were married our first year. No, trust me, okay. I'm trying. No, it can't. I'm telling you, we were married our first year. Okay, we made it clear. I said before, look, I ain't trying to see no bills. Okay, if that's what you like handling, cool. I'm not dealing with a bill. I'm working. Okay, I don't want to see paper. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have a conversation. You do. I cannot tell you right now what's in my personal bank account. I know what's in my business bank account, but I don't even look at the personal bank account. Right. She handled that. I was playing golf. Jack calls me. She wanted to buy something. I was like, okay, why are you calling me? She's like, what? I was like, well, I was like, okay, is the house notes paid? Yeah, I said, the light bill's paid. I said, is the water paid? Cars paid. Yeah. Why you calling me? I said, don't you handle that stuff? So if you know what's available, and all of stuff paid, you ain't got to call me. She's like, well, I just wanted to, check in. I like, you do not have to call me.
That's a
no, straight up.
That's a good wife, though.
No, straight up. No, but she walked through, and I'm like,
or I don't want to say wife. I'd say that's a good partner.
Well, right.
That's a good partner.
But ever since then, I'm like, I don't need you calling me. Because my whole deal is, you manage all that sort of stuff. Don't come at...
Dondre knows that if he went...
I'm going to work.
If he all of a sudden had some huge purchase and I came home, I would just go like this.
You would explode?
No, I wouldn't get... It would just be... He wouldn't even... Because I would never say no to anything, but he would just know that amount of anxiety, I wouldn't buy anything big without going, so... Right. Now I wouldn't do it.
Now she's same way, but it's like
we don't do things like that. We always check in.
Right, but I don't.
But that's nice.
If it's okay to me, that's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 gone. I don't even.
Right.
It was like finally same point about a car. She was like, my niece is driving the car. She was like, I'm like, look, I'm not about to hear this conversation with a car. She said, look, I got paid this. I got paid like 100,000 to give a series of speeches. I was like, look. Take 30, go buy a car. And she's like, you want to go? I said, no. She found what she's like, want to test drive it? No. No, I'm not even. I was like, you like the car?
All right, I'm going to be a better money person, okay?
You got it.
No, I'm just going to accept
it. But you got it. The deal is, if all your stuff is paid off, you put money aside, college fund, savings, everything else, and you still got some money left over, girl, relax. Breathe.
Kind of listen to him, but everyone be frugal. It's better.
No, you can be. You can be frugal, but you can also live.
Yes.
It's okay to
I'll
live.
be better at living.
Yeah, smile. Like eat right.
Did you talk to Dondre?
No, I did not.
Here?
We didn't see. I guarantee you, we had no part of this conversation. See, I told you, all these interviews. I don't know where they going.
This is so. Dondre done texted him.
I guarantee you.
Said,
I guarantee you. When he see it, he'll be like, "My man, how did you know?" I'm like, I felt it in her spirit. I'm like, I said, my spiritual discernment was available, and I said, the Lord was like, had this conversation.
It was my little sneakers that I came here in. I know that's what it is.
I'm telling you, because at the end, because the deal is, my hashtag is live life, love it.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Especially when you're working this damn hard to get it.
You're right.
Enjoy it.
I do need to learn how to relax.
See? And I won't even send her an invoice.
You and Dondre are my therapist.
No, Dondre, your husband. I'm trying to free your mind.
Well, he's the therapist for everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for everybody else. He helping all these men. He helping everybody out with all their stuff. All their stuff. Well, it was good to see you, darling.
Oh, I love you.
Love you as well.
It's really
Keep
good to
having
see
fun.
you. Thank you.